Russia's invasion of Ukraine has stoked global geopolitical tensions, and the destruction doesn't end on the battlefield. Progress in tackling climate change, forged at the COP26 summit in Glasgow last year, has taken a hit, says analyst Anthony Froggatt.
The development of coalitions and joint large coalitions, but also bilateral initiatives such as US and China proposing a new program of work to address climate change. And some of that goodwill has disappeared. And it's not just in terms of Russia. We see that China has pulled out of that arrangement with the US as a result of Taiwan. So across a number of areas, the geopolitics isn't so positive.
Scientists say the world cannot afford to let the Ukraine conflict distract from the climate emergency.
We need to be able to deal with multiple crises. And the truth is that with the war in Ukraine and with the complexity around oil and gas supplies, there is an opportunity, and I say that with respect. There is a chance now to really invest in clean and green, rather than to invest in hydrocarbon infrastructure. That's what the world needs to do right now.
The International Energy Agency said last week the war in Ukraine will hasten a green energy transition.
The government responses around the world, given to this energy crisis, promise to be that we are seeing a turning point in the history of energy, and this crisis indeed accelerate clean energy transitions.
But that transition appears to have taken a backward step. Many European nations are restarting coal-fired power stations in breach of climate pledges as Russia turns off the gas taps.
There is a short-term supply gap that will have to be met. But as long as there isn't huge investment in those fossil fuels, then maybe we just have to accept that. It is the sort of the medium to longer term trajectory that I hope we see an acceleration of decarbonisation as a result of the war in Ukraine.
But Russia's invasion has also stoked a global economic crisis with soaring inflation and looming recessions.
The attention that global leaders are placing on climate change has diminished. I think there will be increased awareness of the economic predicament that many countries find themselves in, the looming global recession that will make finance more difficult.
Political momentum behind the climate talks may have stalled, but there is hope that Russia's invasion of Ukraine will drive nations to end their reliance on the fossil fuels that are causing the climate emergency. Henry Ridgwell for VOA News, London.